Mobility in Germany. A topic you think about so little, you didn't even notice this is not a German train, this is a German train. But let's take a look. Suppose I live in Wiek on the island of Föhr and want to take a vacation in Attenhausen. That's a part of Ickings, located southwest of Munich. So let's go. But how can we get there? It's simple. First, we have to take a ferry from the island of Föhr to Dagebüll-Mole. After that, we take a regional train to Niebüll and then to Hamburg. There we can catch an ICE to Munich and then another regional train to Wolfratshausen. From Wolfratshausen there's a bus to Dorfen, near Wolfratshausen. And now, to be honest, I don't know. We actually called the mayor and we're told that there is a school bus to Attenhausen, but you can only take that if you go to school there. So maybe I just have to walk the last 2.5 kilometers. Now, it's easy to say there must be an app for that. Well, for the route from Wiek to Attenhausen, I don't just need one app. I need a bunch of them. One for the ferry, one for the trains, one for the bus. Maybe another one for carpooling or a long distance bus. Or maybe I can rent a bike for the last kilometers. By the time I figured out all the apps, my vacation will be over. And I thought this was the 21st century, the age of digitalization. Let's face it, no app will ever save us on its own. Well, let's have a look at a more everyday route. Assume we are here, near the Danube in Ulm. If I want to go to the clinic from here, it takes more than an hour by foot. Any idea? Let's try to use the public transport. Fortunately, there's an app. Let's see. Lucky me, I can speak German and English, because the app is not available in any other languages. The app also lacks in terms of accessibility. Screen readers cannot detect information about train delays or even the number of the bus I need to take. Any search for transport options will need a good internet connection, and I can't even download specific timetables in advance. Let's sum it up. If I'm a German or English-speaking sighted person with a good internet connection and understand how to use the app, then it might help me. That's not just a problem here in Ulm. Most mobility apps look more or less the same. And there's a gazillion apps, each for one specific mode of transportation. It's no problem to find a connection from Ulm main station to the clinic, Ulm Kliniken Wissenschaftsstadt. Obviously, they are both stops on the same public transport system. But let me tell you a secret. I do not plan my life according to public transport stops. I want to start wherever I currently am and arrive wherever I need to go. So I'm still sitting at the Danube and the next stop is a bit away. How can I get there? Should I walk, take an e-scooter, bicycle, ferry, rental car? I really need an app that incorporates all the possible options, an intermodal app. Because if I have to switch between the public transport app, the scooter app, the bike rental app and maybe OpenStreetMap to find the best way, well, then I will always be faster by walking. The problem is, who could develop such an app? These people, for example. The Helsinki Regional Transport Authority. They built such an intermodal app that combines all different modes of transportation, compares them, and then finds the best route. Digitransit. They published it in 2017, 3 years ago. You can just open it in your browser and go, with all possible means of transportation. Bus, tram, bike, e-scooter, carpooling, boat, rocket, whatever is available. At least as long as we are in Finland, where Digitransit is now available in the entire country. And it runs automatically. Digitransit is based on OpenTripPlanner, which collects all mobility data from all mobility providers and then calculates the best, nicest and fastest routes. And theoretically, we could have that in Germany as well. The Helsinki Regional Transport Authority released their software Digitransit as open source. Now everyone is free to study, modify, run and distribute it as they wish. Sounds great. And it really is. There's just a single problem. Here in Germany we do have Digitransit, but it's useless without data. Therefore, we need both the schedules as well as the live data, extensively and correctly published under an open license. Instead, we have a patchwork of more than 120 regional traffic authorities alone in Germany and many more transport providers. They prefer to keep their data closed because, in contrast to Finland, we do not have any laws forcing all transport data to be available as open data that can be used, modified and shared freely by anyone for any purpose. Currently, the transport providers hoard their data and are busy building data hubs on their own terms. They plan to aggregate all the schedule and live data into one single giant data set. Sounds great, but doesn't work in reality. Digitransit is such a convincing concept because it does not require all providers to send their data to a single location. Instead, the single datasets are elegantly collected. This means that everyone can join equally, public transport as well as private providers like e-scooters, bike sharing, and someday even rockets, or whatever there is to come. In that case, we just need a unified data format for rocket timetables in which the same stops have the same name. For buses, this is not working well currently. But then we could also integrate the well-standardized rocket feed and go to Mars and beyond. And there are already projects like the Mitfahrzentrale, which translates reoccurring carpools into the bus timetable format to make them appear in routing apps. For example, to get from Wolfratshausen to Attenhausen. But we need political decisions for that. We need to force all providers to publish the data that they already have as open data, completely and with open licenses, in an open standard like GTFS for public transport and GBFS for bike and scooter sharing, both schedules and live data, under a license that allows all of us to use them for everything. That's possible. It's already mandatory that all schedules for public transport are available. The EU already decided that. And the trick is, the data does not need to be sent around and aggregated into a central place. It can stay on the infrastructure of the providers. We just need good links between them, so-called linked open data. Then we can easily set up Digitransit for Germany. Or maybe someone comes up with something even better. We managed to fly to the moon 50 years ago. Maybe we can offer linked mobility data as well. After all, it's not rocket science, but we need political decisions for that. Do it if you can. We need linked open data. And me? I'm finally leaving for Attenhausen. I heard they have a Catholic chapel from the second half of the 17th century. See you!